Hello again. This is my Miss Bumbleflower deck. This deck has changed a lot since the original Precon. You'll notice that some of the symbols are still the original Precon. This little symbol right there. I did not like the way the Precon was designed. I liked a lot of the cards in it. It's just it was not doing everything I thought the deck could do. And I didn't think it was a deck that you could win with. I don't know anybody that's playing it right out of the box, unless that's, a condition of your play group. Let's ball the Precons is playing right out of the box. So, anyway, this is what I've got. I've got a little problem with my mana distribution, but we'll talk about that at the end. Artifacts, I have 4 of them. Soul Ring, Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots, and Dock and Ori. This is all just ramp protection, and I want to play stuff with flash because I had at one point a lot of instants in this deck because I want to be able to play stuff a lot, but I want to be able to play everything. So this is one of the ways I can get stuff out through flash. Creatures, 23 creatures, Fairy Mastermind. A lot of this is recursion. This is win con. This is drawing cards. This is bouncing stuff. It's stuff back to his hand. This is basically like, if you have this in your hand, if you keep getting countered or removed in some way, you're always going to have something to lay down if you've got the mana for it. Chasm Skulker is just generating +1/+1 counters and a bunch of 1/1s if something goes wrong. Evolution Witness is recursion, ramp, Guardian of Faith is protection, Hydroelectric Specimen is protection, plus our land on the other side. Kadama gives everything trample, and it's ramp. Lord of the Third Path. I've taken this card in and out a lot. I keep putting it back in because it's so good. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, and card draw. Merryweather the Light Duelist. I had Propaganda and Ghostly Prison in this deck. But I think I like Miri better. That you can always find somebody to attack with this. And if she's tapped, you can minimize the damage. Minimize the attack and the number of blocks that they can have. I just like this better. And I'm always trying to figure out a way to put this in a deck. I just think it fits here very well. This is this is a scrap shooter. It's a 3-drop, it's a 4/4 reach. If that's all it was, it'd only be worth putting it in. But you can destroy an artifact or an enchantment if you promise a gift. Gift a card to somebody. That's great. That's what I want. I want a card that's multifaceted. Wavebrag Hippocamp, drawing cards when I play spells during other people's turns, and I'm going to be doing that. Archmage Emeritus, same thing. Whenever I cast a spell, an instant sorcery, draw a card. Danny Pink out of the Doctor Who Precons. Creatures you control have whenever one or more counters put on that creature for the first time each turn, draw a card. You're going to draw a lot of cards. I mean, this right here is... Yeah, somebody else is going to draw a card, but you are too. It's not nearly as bad for Miss Bumbleflower. You just drawing one, getting a +1/+1 counter and giving another player a card the first time you do it. With Danny, you're going to get another one yourself. Forgotten Ancient. This is about putting counters on. Archmage Glenalandra is about countering non-creature spells, but when it comes back, if you put another +1/+1 counter on it, it goes right back to a 2/2. And you can do it again. It's like a if you've got 1 blue mana, it's like a counter non-target creature spell, counter target non-creature spell. That's perpetual. You never really lose it. Got to protect it because somebody's going to try some shenanigans to get this off the board for you. Heliod is just I want to eventually flip it and play with stuff at ramp speed. And I think it is me cast spells, any spell, yeah. Overcharged Amalgam is just counterspell in a creature form. Toothy is if you let it get big and you destroy it somehow, you can draw a bunch of cards based on how many +1/+1 counters it has. Seaboard Muse is untap all your permanents. That's great. Council of 4, which is what my original group deck commander was that I broke apart. It fits in here great. It just sits on the table and it just does stuff. You don't even have to cat tag it, just sit there. Enchantments, you have 8. On the trail is ramp. Whenever you draw your second land card each turn, you put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Whenever I draw a bunch of cards, if I late in the game, if I say I have a spell that lets me draw 8 cards, I'm going to draw 6 lands in that group. I want to be able to get this lands on the battlefield in my hand, or out of my hand on the battlefield. Sorry, I'm talking fast. I don't want this video to be crazy long. Shield of the Oversoul, protection and flying, but indestructible. But you're probably already going to have flying. Solitary Confinement. This is your toward the end of the gameplay. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Solitary Confinement unless you discard a card. Skip your draw step. You're going to be drawing cards anyway. You should be drawing cards. You have Shroud. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to you. I mean, this right here is what you do when you got like 3 life left. You lay this down. Leyline of Anticipation. Play spells with flash. I got 3 cards in this deck. Give me the ability to play spells with flash. That's what I want. Smothering Tithe. I'm really struggling about leaving this in. Because when people see this at the table, they start looking at you a little different. This isn't truly a group hug card right here for sure. I do like this ability in this card. I love it. However, I think this might put a target on my back. And I don't know if I want that. I still got to think about it. Wilderness Reclamation. Untap all my lands. It's not all my permanents, but lands are very important as well. Teferi's Aegis Insight. Just more card draw. Struggle for Project Purity. More card draw. Instants have 20. I do have other things that have flash that I count as, like Overcharged Amalgam has flash. That's basically like an instant. I can play that anytime I want if I don't have my 3 cards for casting spells anytime, just like they have flash. So I want to be able to do things on other people's turns. Offer You Can't Refuse. Wash Away, Arcane Denial. Counterspell. Long River's Pull, Negate, Disallow, Unwind, Force Negation. Those are all counter spells. Just I want to be able to stop people from doing things I can't, like board wipes. I've got a lot of power in this deck, and my creatures, I gotta stop board wipes. Slip Out the Back, Protection, Tameo Safekeeping Protection. This is Dawn's Truce, Gift Card. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. If the gift was promised, permanents you control get indestructible until end of turn. You'll know whether or not you need just hexproof or indestructible. You're probably going to need indestructible if you use this. If you just have to use this because one of your permanents is being targeted and you want to give it hexproof, it's 2. But once that doesn't go through, what if they do something else and they go, oh, forget it, I'll just lay a board wipe, and you've already cast this. I'd already just let them draw a card and do indestructible. If they are looking at you enough to target one of your permanents and they get denied that, look, the card's going to be gone anyway. You might as well give them a card. That's what I do. Everybody Lives, instead of Doctor Who. This is the group hug Teferi's Protection. All creatures gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Players gain hexproof until end of turn. Players can't lose life. Players can't lose the game or win the game this turn. This is basically everybody gets Teferi's Protection except nothing phases out. Growth Spiral, I don't know what that is. Draw a card, put a land on the battlefield. Joint Exploration is like Scry 2 and then a Growth Spiral. You're basically just paying 1 extra colorless mana to Scry 2 and then do a Growth Spiral. Which is good. We already talked about those. Peerless Recycling, it's a new card at BloomBurrow. Return target permanent card from a graveyard to your hand if the gift is promised. Instead, return 2 target permanent cards from a graveyard. So, this is really conditional. This is really like, well, if there's only one thing in the battlefield that's permanent, just cast it for 2. Brain Surge, draw 4 cards, put 2 back on the top of the library in any order. Hero and Rolling Growth, ramp. Perch Protection, this is a new, kind of another Teferi's Protection type thing. Gift an extra turn. This is big. I've actually played this card in a game that I won. And basically, when this happens, I basically stood up and said, well, I'm going to be gone I'm going to just go walk over here and, fix you something to eat, and just let you guys figure this out. Create 4 2/2 bird creature tokens with flying. If the gift was promised, all permanents you control phase out. And until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything. Exile Perch Protection. Yeah, you just stand up and go, you guys sort this out. I'll be back later. And I got 38 lands. I actually have more than that because I have the I've actually 39 lands because I got the Hydroelectric Specimen, which is also the Hydroelectric Laboratory. But I have a lot of ramp. So I'll show you down here in just a minute what I was talking about. And I also included the Planeswalker because this -7 Omniscience is huge. It's huge. I would really like to have that. I got 5 sorcery spells. 3 of them are ramp. One is a board wipe. Promise of Loyalty. This is a really awesome group hug board wipe. So everybody gets to keep one thing. And I have Minds Aglow, which every time I've had a chance to do this, I've drawn mostly mana, so that's why I'm kind of dropping my mana a little bit. So this is the distribution. Mana curve is 2.92, which is, it's about 3. It's about what I want, but I just don't like the way this looks. It does go up and it goes down. Now, it's curved for sure, but I wish it was more like this and then coming back down like this. But I do have a lot of, I basically have the same amount of 2 and 3 drops. So now my distribution, I have most of this deck is blue. Most of it is blue. I have 24 blue producers, but I have 38 pips. I have 21 green producers, 23 green pips. That's really good. I have 22 white producers and 18 white pips. I should probably lose a white producer. Maybe a white and a green and add another blue. So 26 card, over a quarter of the deck has the ability to be played at flash speed. Plus with Vidalcan Ori, the other 2 cards that give stuff flash, I can play anything. So that is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to play 2 spells per turn. Protect my board, pump it up, swing with Miss Bumbleflower. I almost decided to make this a Voltron deck, but maybe in my next iteration of it I will. But I'm going to play this deck for a while. I'm going to try to hone this down. I'm not giving up on this deck because I really like this commander. I think it has possibilities. I think there's a lot of cards that support it. Anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.